Hello everyone and welcome back to FCTV Cooking. I'm your host, Aidan Murray, and today we're going to be introducing one of our first guests for the show, and that's going to be Brooke Camo.
I'm the first guest here on FC Cooking, and I'm excited to cook.
Yeah, so today we're going to be making Rice Krispie treats. So if you want to start out by letting us know how we do that, go ahead.
I would love to. So you're going to start off with about a half a cup of butter. You can do a little more, a little less. It's not super important, but these are going to be brown butter Rice Krispie treats. So what's really important is that you make sure this butter gets super browned, it smells super nutty, and that's how you're going to know it's time to add your marshmallows. So we're going to take this and drop it in our pot. Our stove here. So now that we have our stove here, we're going to take our half a cup of butter and begin melting it. You're going to want to do this on medium-low heat so that you don't burn the butter. Okay, so now what we are going to do is measure out our marshmallows. You're going to want about 1 10-ounce bag. So we have that right here, and we can just dump them into our bowl. Once the butter is browned, then we are going to add these marshmallows in. You're going to want to do this kind of quickly because you don't want the butter getting too burnt, and then you also want the residual heat from the butter melting to kind of melt the marshmallows there.
So what would you say would be a good consistency for the butter?
For the butter, it's going to melt and then turn frothy, and then you'll see it turn brown really quickly. It'll be less than 1 minute. So you want to make sure that you have your eye on it and that you can see when it starts to turn that golden brown color.
All right, head over to the butter then.
So now we can see that our half a cup of butter has almost completely melted. This is not the color that it's going to be when it's ready. You're going to see it's going to start to kind of bubble, and then it will turn brown like we said before, and that's when you can add your marshmallows in. So we'll show that step of the process when it gets there. So now we can see that it's starting to bubble, and then once again soon after this you're going to see it start to turn brown. Now if you burn your butter the first time around, that's okay. It takes just a little bit of practice and an eagle eye to kind of see when it turns that nutty brown color. Okay, so now you can see that it's starting to turn brown, and this is exactly what we want. This is what's going to give our Rice Krispie treats that kind of brown butter flavor. So once it gets to here, then you are just going to add your marshmallows in like so. Try not to spill any. If you do, that'll be okay. You won't really taste the difference. And we are going to turn our heat off, and then the residual heat from the butter is going to melt our marshmallows. Once they're smooth is when we are going to also add our crispy cereal into the pot as well.
All right, while Brooke is doing that, the next step of making these delicious Rice Krispie treats is you're going to measure out 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal. Grab our handy dandy measuring cup here. We're going to take our bowl on hand and measure out 6 cups. Now we're heading on to our final step, which will be adding in the Rice Krispies. So we're going to take them and we're just going to pour them into the batter.
And then once we have that, we're going to mix them and make sure that you get an even distribution of marshmallows to Rice Krispies. So you can see now that the marshmallows are getting a little bit sticky. If you find that your marshmallows are getting a bit too hard, you're more than welcome to heat this pan up again a little bit, just to make sure you can get them all mixed evenly. But as you can see here, that's kind of the consistency that we want. And then once we have this, we will take them and add our toppings.
Now that we have our batter mixed and ready, we're going to finally add in the last of our ingredients, which is a healthy handful of toppings. So today's topping of choice will be M&Ms. So we're just going to pour a decent amount in, get them all over the place.
And you can add whatever additions you want. You can add in some strawberries if you want to be healthy, or you can do something fun, maybe like candy corn now that fall is coming up, whatever your heart desires. And there's no measurements for this, it's just what you feel is necessary.
Now while she mixes in the rest of the ingredients, you're going to want to take some extra virgin olive oil, so really almost any cooking spray, and you're going to want to take a sizable dish and spray it down really good. So once you've done that, I think we're just going to finish up by placing them in the dish. Wow, that just looks absolutely amazing.
And while you're adding them into your dish, you can use whatever size you want. If you want your Rice Krispies to be a little bit thinner, use like a bigger pan. And if you want them a little bit thicker, to make sure you press down on them really well. You're going to want them to be nice and thick, like what you would see at a grocery store. And then you will have them all ready to put in the fridge or leave out overnight. And then you can have them however long you can wait. If that's just a few hours, then have them after a few hours. And if that's the next day, that's cool too.
Wow, sounds amazing. So I hear that we don't have to wait for these to cool. You brought some pre-made ones, right?
That is very true. So we're going to take these over here. And we're going to switch them out for our ones that I made already. Now, these do not have M&Ms in them, unfortunately, but they will still be just as good, I'm sure.
Now we're going to try the finished product. Ready?
Cheers.
One of it's you. Wow. That's really good.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Check in next time for some fun recipes on FCTV cooking. See you guys later.